Hurry up so I can come tell you what I want to tell you real quick. Well, go on. Hey, more keys. You ain't first, nigga. But you one of, so you still special. What's up? Okay. So, I told y'all that I was going to come fuck with y'all later, but I lied. They said let the wig down. No, bitch. Don't come up here telling me to do a damn thing. God don't even tell me what to do. The fuck? I lied. Because I started thinking about what I was going to do tonight. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to get back on the motherfucking camera and talk about this bullshit. So I said, let me do it right now. Let me do it right now. And then we're going to go and enjoy our night, okay? So, ahead of time, I did not take notes of all the pt2 shit because I thought it was trash. And I didn't think that I should have to put my effort into anything else that had to do with the prosecution after they had wasted so much of my time. Okay? I took notes on, what I felt compelled to take notes on because I felt like that shit is what I was engaged in. Milagro. Can you pronounce your name for me? Milagro. It's a Spanish name. It's originally Hebrew. It means one who is like God. And in Spanish, it means miracle, a wonder. That's my name. So anyway, we came in at 10:05. And so the defense still had the time to, give their closing arguments because they didn't, talk about it the day before. And so George jumped right back into it. And he said, Occam's razor. He said, Bot told y'all yesterday about Occam's razor. And he said, that's all fine and dandy. He said, but he sat up there for an hour and 15 minutes and he played quotes from Megan about how she felt. He said he ain't focused on the case at all. He ain't talk about the fight. He ain't talk about the shooting. He ain't talk about the location of the people. He said, do we trust Sean Kelly or Megan? They said, did he address Sean Kelly? They said the person who called the police 10 minutes later said that the women were fighting. He said, you guys are left to speculate. And he put Sean Kelly on his bucket list, but he ain't even mentioned Sean Kelly in his opening statements. But now he want to sit up and he want to use Sean Kelly's name. He said, was Megan truthful about leaving the first time? Was she truthful about what the argument was about and everything else? No. He said, why would Megan lie? He said Sean Kelly told the same story until he spoke to the prosecution. He said on day 4, Sean said that he saw 2 girls fighting and the girl shot first. He said the muzzle flash went off by the women, according to Sean Kelly. That's what he said all the way up until he had to talk to, the prosecution. They said Kelsey ain't here on trial, so y'all want to blame my motherfucking client? Really? Really? He said Megan fell on the goddamn floor after they was arguing after these shots that went off. So then he had highlighted the fragment location and where all of the fragments with an S, the 4 bullet fragments were found, which were in the driveway at the man house. He said, listen to the sequence of events. The shots go pop, 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 pause, pop, pop. He said, why did Kelsey go to the car, according to Sean Kelly? He said Sean Kelly didn't adopt the damn story about Tory flinging his arms around crazy, flailing his arms around with the damn gun that he didn't see. He just saw something, coming from his hand. They said he adopted that shit after Bot led him to talk about it. Let me tell you something. Every time George was making a good point, the prosecution, objection, okay? If you actually read the paperwork, because I think when you object too much, it speaks to an insecurity. Or you're trying to hide something because you don't want people to hear shit. George, set up and he said Sean Kelly adopted the Tory story after Bot led him to talk about it. If y'all go and read the fucking transcripts, you will see that he absolutely was led to say what he said. Hands down. If George had said objection, that's something that I feel like if it would have been in all fairness, it would have been sustained. And that's not something that they would have been able to use because he absolutely led him to that. But that was in his line of questioning from back in the gap. So it's not a court of law where you get to say objection. But if you actually read the statements, then you'll see that he led him to that. At no point in time did Sean Kelly say that Tory had done anything like all the months, all the times that he had talked to everybody but the prosecution. He said, in Bot's opening statement, he said Megan walked to the back of the car. Get into this. The damn prosecution, the ones that's supposed to be standing up for Megan Thee Stallion because she ain't pressed no damn charges herself, they asses got up there and said in their opening statements that Megan was walking towards the back of the car. Now, how dumb y'all look to have y'all own witness get up there and say she was walking towards the front? Chum, a damn fool. He said, Bot talked for 15 minutes about Kelsey's testimony when Kelsey said that she lied. What the fuck we spending time on that for? He said, why didn't they give Kelsey transactional immunity? If they felt like Kelsey hadn't did nothing and there wasn't nothing to it, why not just give her a blanket immunity, which meant that she could have got up there and said that, bitch, I got bombs over Baghdad, and they wouldn't have been able to do nothing, but y'all didn't. They said they played an emotional video of Kelsey crying. He said Kelsey was crying because she did it. He said Kelsey over there asking Megan how she doing and if she okay because she the one that did the shit. He said, why they don't talk no more? They said that the prosecution explained that. He said when Megan got out of the hospital, she went to New York. And Kelsey didn't even know where she was. While Kelsey was sitting up waiting outside and didn't have nowhere to live. Now, ain't that a fucking fact? Does that make sense to you? Everything's supposed to be about, oh, this is what happened. So, and Kelsey said herself, Megan didn't know I went and linked with Tory to go get my shit. So she couldn't have been mad at me about that. So explain to us why the fuck y'all left her for dead. You ain't no better than Erica. Y'all remember when she left Scrappy for dead? When he had that damn asthma attack? Bitch, Kelsey was having an asthma attack. She deserves so much better. So they said, why in the hell are Megan's lawyers here? He pointed to the bitch sitting behind the prosecution and the hoes on the back row. They objected and it was sustained, but not before he called their ass out. And everybody looked at them like, let's talk about it. What the hell you here for? He said, this ain't got nothing to do with them. Child, y'all trying to intimidate people? What y'all got going on? They said, they sitting up there, George said, they up here pushing this black man shot a black woman narrative. They said, but why you ain't talk to your friend? A black man shot a black woman. Okay. Well, why the two black people didn't stand together, the two women? What the hell is up with that? So I looked over at Bot after he had pointed out them attorneys and he was like just on a roll. I could see that nigga. You know how it be sexy, how a nigga clench his jaw? And you can see that shit like pulsing in his jaw. Bitch, Bot was over there clenching the fuck out of his teeth. I know damn well he chipped about 2 of them hoes in the back. So he don't have no wisdom tooth or that last tooth at the back of his mouth. He was clenching his jaw so motherfucking hard. I wrote it down. I said, look at Bot. He hot. And I underlined it 2 times. And I showed it to the person next to me. And they said, who was that? And I said, that's the white man. That's what I said. When I put this on the NFT, I'll show you. All my notebooks going on the NFT. Sure. So he said, this was a case of jumping to conclusions. He said they did gunshot residue. And they got gunshot residue kits. And they got the results from that. He said, but they only DNA tested Tory. He said, why in the hell did they do that? They said, why didn't they call Stogner and Kelly to the stand? For anybody that doesn't know, the defense called Stogner to the stand. And the defense called Kelly to the stand. If you have an independent witness that saw everything that's supposed to be unbiased, why wouldn't you call them to the stand? The burden of proof is on you. You're supposed to prove the case. Why wouldn't you bring him up? Because you knew that his ass had said that Kelsey had that gun first. You ain't want to talk to him on the stand. Why y'all didn't call Stogner up there? Because Megan told him, and she acknowledged the fight. And no, not a fight. She acknowledged in the December 2021 transcripts that, yeah, she did say that I had backdoored her. She acknowledged the fight in terms of a verbal argument, not physical. Let's just make that distinction. That'll clear it up. So why in the fuck did y'all only test Tory for DNA? He said, why didn't they call Stogner or Kelly to the stand? He said, why didn't anyone record Megan's interview? Y'all want to know something? Bitch, Stogner got on the phone and did an interview with Megan and had Desiree Perez and her attorney and people on the phone, and they did not record it. Now, this is your eyewitness and the victim. And you not recording every interaction that you having with her? Really? That's interesting. He said, I had to call Sean Kelly to the stand. He said, why didn't they call Quan to the stand? They want the truth. They're on the quest for the truth. Why in the hell didn't they call him? He said, that is reasonable doubt. He said the gunshot residue. He said, we already know why Tory had gunshot residue on him. He said, because he went over there to try to stop Kelsey from shooting at that bitch some more. He said, but why did Kelsey have gunshot residue on her? He said the defense ain't explained yet why she had gunshot residue on her hands, and if everybody was struggling over the gun, why Jaquan had 0 and Megan didn't have none. Megan nor Jaquan had gunshot residue on them, per what the fuck was said today. So only Tory and Kelsey had it, and we heard the gun go pop, 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 pause, pop, pop, and we don't want to acknowledge the struggle and the idea that he got it on his hands because he was trying to stop her ass. We're not going to acknowledge that Sean Kelly said he saw them fighting. The girl went to the car, got something. It was some pops, and niggas jumped out the car. Child, please. They said, did they ever ask where Kelsey was when all this shit was going on when she was on the stand? No. They said no DNA on this gun, but they want to attack accreditation. They was coming real hard at the expert that was court appointed that the defense brought up. But he was like, babe, no accreditation. He said if you pick up a gun and you fire the gun 5 times, that's it's reasonable that the DNA will be there. He said Tory jumped in the front and he couldn't see the gun. They said no DNA, reasonable doubt. He said whoever said that the gun was in the console, because they set up and said that the gun was Kwan's and it was in the center console. Who the fuck proved that? Child, please. He said Megan never said that he threatened to shoot Kelsey. There was testimony from Kelsey in September. That's just when the light hit my lip. There was testimony from Kelsey in September that Tory said that, bitch, I'll shoot you. And he motioned towards the console, but he ain't never grabbed nothing. Why wouldn't Megan say that if that's what she heard in the call? Because that would be something that would be damning to him. So where the fuck did that come from? And wouldn't that have made it more likely that, oh, okay, well, if he said he was going to shoot her and then he pulled out a gun, like, so why wouldn't you say that? Because, bitch, it don't exist. They said, you cannot put the gun in my client's hands. He said, we'll never know whose DNA was on it, and they want you to put him away for 22 years behind that shit. 22 motherfucking years when you don't even know what the hell happened. He said, if Kelsey's DNA was there, would we be here? That's what he asked the courts. If Kelsey's DNA was there, would we be here? If Johnny had 3 motherfucking apples and a bitch took 2, how many apples Johnny got left? That was the question of the day. He said that's a reasonable doubt. He said they over here talking about a damn pool when, baby, a half hour passed. He said Tory went to the bus stop. They stopped another time. Then it was a fight. Then he shot the gun. Ain't no DNA on the damn gun. He said they improved the motherfucking name. He said it ain't no DNA on that magazine because that's not Tory fucking gun. He said they trying to botch the investigation and blame it on my client. Not on my motherfucking watch. He said EJ was our witness, by the way. He said, why in the fuck didn't they call EJ to the stand? Why didn't the prosecution, idiot, why didn't the prosecution call EJ to the stand? Y'all didn't want to hear nothing from people y'all ain't have y'all under y'all thumb. Y'all didn't know what the fuck them people was going to say. So y'all didn't want to talk to Stallion because you knew what he had been told. Y'all didn't want to talk to Sean Kelly because you knew what the fuck he had said. And your ass didn't want to bring EJ up there because you didn't know what the fuck he was going to do. But we do know EJ no longer works with Megan. We know Kelsey no longer works with Megan. Bitch, we know a lot of people that was around ain't over there no more. And motherfuckers call themselves coming for EJ and trying to say something to him. Bitch, you wasn't even there. So I'm confused as to why the fuck you even talking. Hold on, let me block you, bitch. Look at you. Then missed your blessing. So, he said EJ was our witness. And he said that when we don't have a security guard, we protect ourselves. He said EJ saw something that looked like a gun in her bag before and quite possibly saw something that looked like a gun that night. He said he didn't pack her bag, Kelsey's bag. He said Kelsey went to the car and her bag was a bag that was open. She got that gun. He said EJ said that he didn't even like my client at first, but he does now, and he felt safe leaving Megan with him. He said, let's talk about this damn probation. He said they tried this shit. He said Tory wasn't on no probation, and Tory didn't bribe nobody. He said they set up and attacked Tory and set up here the whole goddamn time and told you what Megan feels like this and that. Well, I didn't know that the bitch was Mr. Krabs. Do you want to know if I can feel it? Bitch, this is not Nickelodeon and SpongeBob is not about to flip a goddamn Krabby Patty. Bitch, ain't nobody asked you how the hell she felt. We asking you about these motherfucking facts. It's a lot of people feeling a lot of ways. What? So then, he said EJ backed up our claims. He said Megan did not want to leave. They said she had EJ move her shit. And it wasn't no evidence and no guns. He said they up here showing you Instagram posts that ain't even fucking verified. He said we feel bad that Megan got shot. But that don't mean Tory did it, bitch. Okay. He went over the gun charge. He said my client, and recall the jury did ask for clarification on this again when they were doing deliberations. He said my client didn't willfully use a gun. He said, in terms of shooting a firearm in a negligent manner, he said, it ain't no damn evidence that my client shot a motherfucking thing. He said the only proof is that Kelsey did, from what Sean Kelly said. He said carrying a concealed firearm in the vehicle. They say it was corn gun, but it ain't got no damn DNA on it. They say EJ said that he saw something like a gun, and Kelsey coincidentally got something about the car. He said, keep my challenges in mind. These were his challenges for the rebuttal for the prosecution. Why the fuck did Kelsey want immunity? Why all them changed statements? And why they couldn't prove or present the burden of proof, in a manner that was sufficient for the situation. He said it's the DNA, the testimony, and the immunity. He said all of that shit is reasonable doubt. And that's how you got to look at it. And he was done. He said, thank you for your time. They said, how did Tory have underwear on and no shirt and less gunshot residue on him? So, Kathy Ty, I only wrote one thing that bitch said, and I'm going to show you one thing. She wasn't resonating with me, bitch. I wanted to take a nap. The jurors was falling asleep. I wasn't feeling nothing that she said. But Kathy Ty said, and this is what I quoted, Megan has to be a sociopath to lie on Tory as a PR move. I would have never said that to that jury. Because she did lie. She did lie. And that was a PR move. You didn't want to tell people that you was even having sex with him or that you got into it with Kelsey. That was a PR move. So if you're going to introduce the idea that if she were to lie on him and that would make her a fucking sociopath, well, babe, then I guess you think she a sociopath too then. I guess you think that she's a sociopath as well. Because she did lie to protect her image. And that was a PR move. So you think the bitch retarded? Child. Let me show you what she put up. And I'm talking about Kathy. Everybody take a look. Nancy Dillon did a recreation of a chart that was presented. And these were supposed to be all the reasons why Tory was guilty. Kathy talking about, I'm a visual learner. This is how straightforward the evidence in this case is. We really only have 3 suspects. They take Megan completely out. They put Jaquan, Kelsey, and Tory. Do you see that it says GSR? And you see how they got an X in Kelsey box and an X in Tory box? What is reasonable doubt? Why would your big blockhead Roblox built ass sit up there and put anything up there that was an X in that damn box for anybody that wasn't him? You trying to prove a case and you gonna put an X in that bitch box? Does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you? It doesn't make sense to me. Why are Megan Cunif's tweets coming off like the jury doesn't like Tory's lawyer? I'm going to tell y'all about Megan Cunif in an incident to give you some perspective on how I think she views niggers. And maybe even foreigners, bitch, or people that are not, white. The whole time that we've been going through this, there are particular outlets that have gotten, treated differently. And I feel like treated with more respect, And everything was fine and dandy and didn't nobody have no complaints until a black man took over, a black bailiff. This black bailiff came through and got some order in that motherfucking highway. And he made sure that everything was set up. So a lot of us ended up sitting in front of, certain people that were affiliated with certain outlets. And, we were being treated the same. From the moment that black man asserted himself as a leader, she had a problem. She took her stupid ass on Instagrams and bitch sat up there and said, the bailiff talked to us like we were kindergartners, and he basically congratulated himself, for getting everything together. No, that man didn't. No, he didn't. So to sit up and imply that the jury wasn't feeling George is straight pure D bullshit. They was hanging on to George every fucking word. But you ain't gonna say nothing about Kathy Ty in the way that they responded to her and Bot? Really? You're not gonna. You set up that TMZ want to report on Tory falling asleep. Do you wonder why he fell asleep? Did they tell you why he fell asleep? Because the shit was boring. Man, he wasn't the only one. It was 2 or 3 bitches in the jury that fell asleep. Bitch, I was falling asleep. That's how boring the prosecution's closing arguments were. Literally. So, now anyway. They said EJ tried it with his press release after court. No, he didn't try to do a damn thing. He did that because, bitch, I cackled for 40 days and 40 fucking nights. The earth was remade by the time I got done laughing at that shit. No, that shit was hilarious. And he didn't mock nobody. That was his experience. And he can do with it what he pleases, bitch. So that's what the fuck I'm trying to understand why the hell y'all got a problem. You hold so goddamn sensitive and don't nobody give a fuck. If it's funny, I'ma laugh. You don't get to tell me how I handled it. EJ had to go through that shit. EJ the one. But now EJ can't sit up and do with his truth what the fuck he want. Bitch, you ain't got no jurisdiction over how that man move. And that's y'all problem, thinking that y'all running something. Don't nobody give a fuck about how y'all feel. You don't want to laugh at it, bitch, disengage. Get the fuck up off his page. So anyway, Justin don't work for Megan no more either. What happened with that? Okay. So this was the stupid ass presentation that got posted. And Kathy, you need to be fired, ma'am. I don't know. I don't know who in the fuck ever told you that you was doing a good job. I don't know how your cases have been in the past, but this wasn't for you, love. Did you know that? This wasn't for you, love. I'm looking over my notes, y'all. Yeah. Well, people, that's what happened. So they taught the jury their instructions, and then they went ahead and handled their business. Party's comments that he made was stupid to me. I thought that they were very fucking dumb. A day late in a dollar shop. I feel like if that's your bitch, you're supposed to ride for your bitch and show up. Megan said the nigga was embarrassed. If a nigga standing behind you, what the fuck you embarrassed? Like, why? Okay. Because he's sitting up here talking about women shouldn't be ridiculed, or, people shouldn't be worried about certain shit, and this is what's going to happen to you. Where is the fucking accountability? They sitting up here comparing Meghan Pete to Meghan Markle. Are you hoes on dope, bitch? Prince Harry had a mother named Princess Diana. Y'all know damn well they killed that fucking woman. Y'all know that what Meghan Markle went through with the UK and with the royal family and them leaving, damn near escaping to come over here to America ain't no way, no how similar to what the fuck didn't happen to this lying-ass trick. You know that shit. Do you understand that 2 things can be true? That you can feel bad that Megan got hurt, but hold her accountable for playing in your fucking face. Did you know that? Did you know that you can hate that, she ended up in a situation where she was in any type of pain physically? But that you can also comment on the fact that, but bitch, you didn't tell us the truth. Megan wanted all of us to rally around her and chastise anybody who didn't, along with all these other bitches. When she ain't even keep it a bean, bitch. You want to tell me pieces of the truth, but you want me to fully stand behind you? It don't work like that. It don't work like that. And y'all want to sit up here and resort to this rhetoric that, well, she still got shot. She said that nigga did it. And she said that she saw that nigga do it. That's what we here for. The case wasn't about them making get shot. It was about who shot her. But don't nobody want to talk about that? Y'all really finna play fucking dumb? Don't nobody give a fuck about who she was fucking? Nobody cares. The only reason why it was relevant, and they did bring up the baby and Ben Simmons' name today, as the other people that she fucked behind Kelsey. Sure did. The only reason why it was relevant is because it was the foundation for the issue that they had, Kelsey and Megan. And that establishes a motive. That's why it was important. So y'all really finna sit y'all stupid ass up and act like you don't understand why it was important to bring her, sexual history up in that regard. Didn't nobody go back to anything outside of that? Didn't nobody sit up there and do no damn rundown? So stop being fucking dense. And stop acting like, people really give a fuck about who she was fucking. No one cared. It is what it is. Get your pussy on. If that's what the fuck you want to do. So y'all just be acting real stupid because y'all ain't got nothing left. Okay? Y'all have nothing left and y'all want to play. So, and why did she want immunity? So, the prosecution didn't answer none of George's challenges. And I'm not saying his last name because I don't even know how to pronounce this shit. That's why I'm calling him George. Okay? George got on a Cartier motherfucking iced out ass wedding band. Okay? George is a classy nigga. Very classy. I'm fucking with George. Okay? Baby George not playing. Somebody said, how do you feel about what Jonathan said? I don't feel no ways about what Jonathan said. You talking about what he said? Some shit like he'll fight somebody or something, I'm sure. Did he threaten violence? Some shit like that? Okay. And anyway, like, y'all just so fucking dense and over it. I'm over it. Y'all are ridiculous. That's how I feel. Everybody want to get on social media, bitch, and throw their motherfucking 2 cents in. The wishing well is full. Scrape this bitch. Go put it in the coin machine, bitch. Gonna get a hamburger. He ate that closing statement up like it was his first meal, bitch. Was there a rebuttal for the prosecutor? Yeah. It just ain't mean a motherfucking thing. You ever heard a bitch talk but she ain't say nothing? That was Kathy. Kathy was, it was like, womp, 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 she give me what I want. Bitch, I say, damn. I looked up. Bitch, I thought it was it. It was like, womp, 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 womp. So, Kathy wasn't talking about shit. And I felt like she knew it too. She's like, I'm almost done. But what about this? Bitch, what about these nuts, bitch? Shut your ass up, ho. The fuck up on my face. I don't fuck about none of this shit. Do you believe that Tory's old label has an issue with him going independent and that's why the situation got out of hand? I'm going to be honest with you. And we speculating at this point. But I don't think it's a coincidence that Tory went to the Rock Nation brunch and he was put in a situation to where, certain people were in his line of vision, Megan and them. I don't think that it was a coincidence that at first Megan tried to put Kelsey on the nigga and then she got on the nigga. It's like with that R. Kelly shit. Like where people will know a nigga weakness and they'll exploit it. Some shit like that. Y'all know Tory love him a big bitch with a big ass. Go look at Tory track record. What them hoes look like. So, child, she done came over here shaking her butt. Pop my butt, pop my butt. She done came over here shaking her butt in all kind of different directions. Y'all know damn well that was some kryptonite for that nigga. You knew he was gonna want to fuck. All that goddamn trauma bonding and shit that they had them over there doing. Maybe Tory probably sitting over there really pouring his heart out while she sitting up here, bitch, just fluffing and telling him a whole bunch of shit. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. No more. What the fuck? Baby, was y'all in love or was he in love? What the hell was really going on? I feel like maybe he was more genuine than what she was. I feel like bitches are trying to play with a nigga's emotions. See, y'all be trying to paint Tory out to be this evil person. But he's really not. He's really not. And sometimes, people are, use that against you. And they'll take advantage of that shit. And they'll see how you treat people, how you do people. And, they'll come slide in and they know that you got a soft spot for them. So, I feel like that's what happened. That's what happened. They said Nancy Dillon looked like she smells. No, she don't. Nancy Dillon don't look like she stink. I just think that Nancy Dillon and a lot of other people have vested interest in certain platforms and people and companies. I don't think she looked like she stink. Not that other one. That bitch look like she stink. The seat of her pants hanging by down to her damn ankle. She looked like she got on a full fucking diaper. And that would be the baby I would pass on because I wouldn't change that shit. I don't know what the hell going on with her. It's somebody up there who birthed some motherfucking bad bitch. When they talk, you got to act like you mad at them. So that they can shut the fuck up. Who on God's green earth would come to the courtroom with their breath smelling like hot ass? Who? These people. I have been subject to so many things that are unconstitutional while I've been attending this trial. The people that I have had to be around, the dumbass conversations I've had to listen to, I just feel like I should be compensated. I'm like, Stupid shit. Stupid shit. Hey, my girl, Shay. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So we'll see what happens, and when we do, I'll let you know. Okay. So that's your update for today. And when they come back with a verdict, bitch, I'm gonna come back and give it to you. Okay. So I will talk to you later. Yeah, nigga. And I'm gonna talk to you later. Okay. Bye.